So here we go. It's that time. It is that wonderful time where we compliment, we praise, we talk about the awesome patrons over on Patreon who help us do everything that we do around here. We start off with our gold members: Brendan Myers, James Johnson, Ryan Turford, Coach Timbo, Sheldon Benedict, Joel Brooks, and Dawn Becker. Then we move over to the platinum producers: Mr. Nasty Boots and Tammy, the diamond executive producers: Mr. Bobby Miller, Lee Navarro, Corey Hicks, and Jonathan Brown. Now on to the show.
If we ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 162 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Sean Capri.
Bobby, how are you, my friend? We're just really launching into things here, aren't we?
Yeah.
We just fired up the Skype call, and you finished the game of Fortnite. I haven't even had a sip of my coffee yet. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
We mean business today, Bobby. We got a lot to discuss.
A lot to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good
hopefully,
topics.
Just want to preface this with, and I said it right, Sean. I said preface, not preference.
I don't think. Oh yeah, you did do it right. You did.
Oh, you did it.
Man, I'm so tired. I was just like, I think you said that wrong. You're totally right. I'm sorry.
My landscapers might show up, and if they do, you might hear something in the background. If you do, I apologize.
How fancy are you, my landscapers? I'm just gonna have them do take a little off the top.
Yeah, just come here, take a couple inches off the grass.
Mm-hmm. That's very fancy.
A couple half an inch or so.
Plant a couple trees, maybe dig a hole for
for
a fishing pond out there. You have a fountain built out front.
I don't have that. I don't have that much land.
The Guru fountain. You have a fountain in your lobby, Bobby. That's how you know you've made it.
This is true. This is true. So how you been, man?
I've been good. Well, this week was no good. Not gonna lie to you. This week was no good. So it's Sunday as we record this. It's the start of a new week. I gotta turn over a new leaf. I've been having some encouraging conversation with some people, and just gonna take control back a little bit. Gotta set the path on back right. Gotta get things back on track. I want to give a quick shout out if I can. No, I won't do that. Yeah, I was just gonna kid. I'm just kidding with you, Bobby. I don't want to mess up your order or nothing. How are you?
Yeah, right. Better, man.
Yeah, what the heck? What the heck? Everybody is like that right now.
This week is bad, man.
Holy crap!
So I'll just get into it a little bit. I'm going to do this on Nintendo Talk as well, and I need to make some changes. And I hate doing this, and I don't want to ever disappoint people. And I'm sorry if I do disappoint you in this moment, but I need to pull some stuff back, or I'm heading into some danger territory. So last week, I realized that my wisdom tooth was really bad shape, and I needed to get it taken care of, get it pulled out, whatever needed to be done. So Monday, I call the doctor, I call the dentist. They tell me to come in the next day, and I'm like, okay, no problem. And I was getting by with whatever it was. Roll in there and sit in the chair. They tell me this is what you're going to need done, blah, blah, blah. We can do it right now. If you want to get it done, we can do it right now. We got time. No problem. Just need to check your blood pressure. Check your blood pressure. If everything comes in good, we can just start right now. I check my blood pressure. It's high. It's the highest it's ever been in my entire life. 164 over 102. So, which is honestly heart attack area. At least what I'm hearing and seeing. And the doctor was like, we can't give you the medication that's going to numb your tooth, or numb your mouth. In order to pull the tooth, we have to send you home. And legit, I walked out of that office 1,000% scared. Not sure what to do, what's going on. So I reached out to you, and I talked to you, and I said that, like, I need to scale a little. I need to scale some things back, and I'm trying to figure out what's right, what's wrong, what's the way to go here. I'll never stop. Well, I can't say never, but I'm sure eventually we'll stop doing the podcast. But At this moment, I don't want to stop doing the podcast. Those are my favorite times of hanging out with you and Toby. And, I know what happens when I don't do those. And when I don't do those, we just all disconnect and I don't feel like it's close. And I like talking to you guys. You guys are my rocks. You know what I mean? So that's not changing. But the YouTube stuff has to cut back. And so people have noticed that I haven't been doing any content on YouTube at all. And so what I did was Thursday started Weight Watchers. I'm legit like this. I'm not going to sit here and say that. But I'm not going to say that because I say that every time.
Fair.
And then I fall back.
That's fair. Okay, well, I believe in you. You don't have to say anything. I believe in you this time.
I feel like I have enough fear in me to
well, yeah.
to really, what I mean, to really wake up. Because now here's this thing. I got a wisdom tooth that needs to come out. I'm literally taking 3 pain pills a day just to subside the pain so I can make it through the day. And I got ones that thankfully I haven't had to take at night, but I have ones that'll literally knock me out at night if I can't, weather the pain. But so far, knock on wood, I've been able to just get through everything. But I'm not sure content-wise what I do, what I don't do, because I feel like there's so much pressure on my day job as it is to couple that with trying to come up with content, trying to record it. My regimen was so out of whack.
Well, you literally have no time to think about meal planning or exercise at all.
Any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Any of that. Like, and when do I eat? That's the other thing. Like, I was eating way late at night and, like, starving myself for hours on end, which is no good, man. Because then when it's time to eat, I'm just like...
whatever you got in front of me.
Yeah, whatever I got. So I've been consciously, like, literally going to the grocery store every day. Every night, get off work, go to the grocery store, pick up like a rotisserie chicken or something to cook for that night, like vegetables and stuff. Come home, eating vegetables. Like lunchtime, I'm eating a bag of vegetables. Like I've just been like cutting all the crap out, going a lot of greens, drinking so much water. It's not even funny.
Yeah. Grouchy Search is doing the same thing, man. Like his water intake is like gallons a day, I guess, because it's supposed to like help curb the appetite. I don't know.
It helps curb
the cravings and whatever.
Yeah.
Really
I've
interesting.
also been adding lemon to the water.
Yeah, right.
Because that helps with blood pressure. I've cut my coffee way back. You remember the gigantic cups I used to drink.
Yeah.
I'm only drinking, this is all I drink all day.
Oh, yeah, I guess caffeine would do that, right?
Yeah.
So holy crap.
I can't quit cold turkey because I'll get massive headaches. But I'm trying to wean to completely be off to be completely off coffee. Like to get away from it altogether.
So are you able to have a doctor walk you through this as well, or do you have to do this journey on your own?
Well, right now,
because like, these are important health decisions.
No, I agree.
I don't want to be your mother right now, but you should have a doctor talk you through this.
I know. Right now, my game plan is to go back to the dentist, hopefully tomorrow, which is today's Sunday, so either Monday or Tuesday. Hopefully they go like, hey, man, your blood pressure's down.
Yeah.
Let's go. If they say blood pressure's still high, then I'm immediately calling my doctor and going in. But I'm going to go do that anyway. I need to get
just tell them to skip on whatever the numbing thing is. Just have them rip that tooth out no matter what. Can you imagine?
Oh, man.
Can you imagine? Oh, my God. I don't even like them like cleaning my teeth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Who knows, man? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just go like, just get it out.
Get it out.
Just get it out.
It might be.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that being said, like, I want people to know that, like, like last night, Joey Splat sent a tweet, which I really seriously means the world to me, dude. He was just saying, like, he loves my content. He misses me. He was kind of giving me a little nudge. And I saw that and I read that and I was like, I think, and I don't know for sure, I'll have a determination this week, and I was going to talk to you about it off the air, but whatever. We do this stuff on here.
Yeah, we're pretty open, man.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to probably do is start streaming predominantly.
Instead of YouTube?
Instead of YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed with YouTube anymore anyway.
Yeah.
The people that are there, even on Twitch, it's the same kind of thing. But like some of these content creators are just really disheartening. girl legitimately like is beating her dog up this week, and no
No
repercussions.
way. I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, dude,
I don't
she
even want to hear.
spit
Can I
No,
tell
but
you
I
something?
mean, but
Honestly, dude,
she
like,
uploaded the wrong video by mistake.
oh, get out of here.
She uploaded. She grabbed.
Are we
I've done
5
that
years
before.
old?
I've done it before too. I've edited and had the raw footage and the edited footage
Sure.
and grabbed the wrong one, but she uploaded it, posted it, and people lost their minds over it. And it's like,
gosh.
like what is wrong with people? First off,
Mhm.
why are you beating up your dog?
Mhm.
That's just dumb. But like, where are we at that like we're banning people for literally walking in the bathroom with a camera
Yep.
and
Should have
we're
been
not
banned,
doing
by
it?
the way.
Well, no, I agree. He's breaking the law. I
Yeah.
agree. But like, then you have people beating up animals and doing stuff to animals, and nothing happens at all. And it's like,
People are dumb,
I don't
man.
know.
People are
Yeah.
dumb.
So
I've been
so
talking to
for-
a couple people about YouTube and stuff too, man. So, and I think streaming is, I think it just feels like the future. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, nothing against YouTube. I think there's a lot of people making great stuff on YouTube. But for whatever reason, it does seem like there's a way to do both on, like, there's a way to do your YouTube stuff on stream. Like, and just
Yes.
make it a bit of a production. So that's really what I've been really thinking about a lot. Like, I got my lights here, Bobby. I geek out
Yeah.
for a second here. I got my like, mounted. I got all this space in this tiny ass room. I posted out a tweet of I took a picture of this room that I'm in, and everybody's like, "Ooh, that's tight. I thought you were in a bigger space."
I know. I thought you were. I didn't realize it was so small, man.
It's pretty
Chelsea
small,
like
dude.
relegated you to like the little corner in the room in the house.
Mm-hmm. It's
She's
well,
like,
there's a lot of
you
stuff
go in
in
that
here.
you go in that little tiny area, Sean.
This-
That's where you're at.
No, this used to be a bedroom. There used to be a bed in here. It was like, this is where like you would stay. But we're like,
Okay.
nobody's coming over. Like, no, and like we had it set up like this
Thanks.
for years. I'm sorry, man,
Thanks.
but you remember like when I was back up in what's now Lincoln's room, we were just looking at this space. Like, it was like this for years and years, and we're going like, nobody has been here. Nobody's coming over. So let's just turn the space into this, and it's pretty tight. This is why I'm all like, I got to get rid of all this stuff. Like, I've got too much stuff. I'm getting a little claustrophobic. I'm not gonna lie. I've got like maybe 6 inches to back up for my green screen. So I've got to figure out a new situation for the green screen. You know, they hang from the ceiling. You can get ones that like,
That'd be awesome.
like a movie screen, like a projector
I'm
screen
sure you
kind
can
of
get
thing.
a motorized too.
I don't know if I need that, Bobby. That's a little
Stop.
much.
Yeah, come on, Sean.
Please, everybody go to patreon.com/Yumi Capri. Fill up our goal so that I can get a motorized. Good God, I can't even say it as a joke. That would be great though.
That would be
because
amazing.
imagine just as the background disappears and then I enter your room, because I would take a pic. I need a picture of your room actually if I
I
can.
already gave you one.
I need a new
another
one. I need a new one.
I'll give
I
you
don't know
one.
if I do. I forgot that you gave me one
It's
actually.
fine. I'll give you one.
All right, Bobby.
So anyway, that's my gameplay. It's and I'm gonna go Twitch. That's
Are
what
you?
I'm gonna be. Yes.
Mixer's
I
not
thought about
tempting
the
you
Mixer
over.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep my own Mixer.
Their partner
Right now,
program is that's the reason I think.
dude, 1,000 subs.
Mhm.
Come on,
Is
man.
it 1,000 or even 2,000 subs even? I'm not
You know
even
what?
sure.
I think it is 2,000.
I think it was
It's
2.
up there, dude. It's massive.
But it's a
So
great platform. I don't like their app. I really dislike their phone app because it doesn't do all the nice things with my autocorrect or whatever. It doesn't give me my periods. I need my period. You know how much I need my periods, Bobby. Okay. And my commas and my auto caps and everything like that. Shout out to Mitch Power, by the way, streaming Twitch. Mitch Power 1116, good guy. Mixer, Twitch, just doing the restream thing.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do Restreamio, any of that stuff. I'm just going to do strictly, I'm going to
Get it on your Twitter though. Make sure you get it on.
I
that's
might
a good
do
one.
Restreamio so that way I have it on my Twitter.
It's a
that's a good place to be.
You know, because I don't want to do like and I don't think you'll do this either. Like that I'm so pretty selfie that you do before you go live. Like, I'm live, everybody. Tee hee hee.
Done that a couple times.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I have.
No, well, you try, but you know,
I don't
think
do it
it's
on.
better.
I do. I put it on Instagram, so you're not on Instagram.
Oh, that's right.
So
That's right. Do you
I
really?
put videos up sometimes, like, "Hey, man, I'm getting ready to go live."
Yeah. I'd rather just be live and then send it over to Twitch. But I should be giving you all my secrets. Well, I can give you my secrets, but not everybody else listening. Not all the millions and millions.
Speaking of, well, we'll get and whatever. I don't know. I watched an amazing video on YouTube yesterday of The Rock.
Oh yeah.
And it was like an inspirational speech he gave to
Oh
the
yeah.
Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
I saw it too. Yeah, he's
Oh
good.
my god.
Of course.
Dude. It's
Shout out to The Rock.
phenomenal. Anyway, let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode. We didn't do it this week.
God,
Whatever.
it's a little different.
With our shout-outs.
Geek outs. I don't think I have a geek. I have a sweet shirt. I have a sweet Legend of Zelda shirt. And Lincoln points at it and goes, triangle?
Triangle.
He likes it. It's a big triangle. My Triforce is just a big triangle to him.
Technically, it is.
I guess so. Well, it's 3, but also makes up 1.
He doesn't. Makes it 1 triangle.
It's one of those math problems you look at and you're like, how many triangles do you see in this thing? I don't think I have a geek out, Bobby. In all seriousness,
There's 5 triangles.
No, well, I don't know. Is there? There's one in the middle. I don't know, Bobby. I can't get into this.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then the big one. 5.
I don't know.
5.
I don't think that's true.
It's just 5. It is true.
All right.
Trust me.
All right.
It's
Do
true.
you have any geek outs? Are you geeking out about anything?
Damn true. I'm not geeking out about nothing. I'm thinking about my geek out for my next show that I got to do, and I'm like, what is it? What's it gonna be? I don't know. Anyway, I got to figure that one out.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Can't wait to listen to that and hear you hodgepodge that one together.
So I already gave a little quasi shout out to Joey Splats. I want to thank you, bro. Like, seriously, Joey is such a good guy, man.
Yeah.
And I think he gets a bad rap sometimes. Sometimes he gets a little loose with the lips and says some old fingers, really.
We can relate to that, though.
Yeah. And
I think I can relate to that big time.
Jumps the gun sometimes and says stuff, but at the end of the day, like, he is really such a good guy. He's a sweetheart.
He always comes home. He always comes back to us.
And I love the guy to death, man. I really do. We don't always see eye to eye on everything, but that's not the point. That's irrelevant.
That isn't the point.
It's not. He is fantastic, man. He's a fantastic human being. I love him to death. And so thank you for the shout out that you gave me this week. So. What about you, Sean?
Well, I'm going to tie 2 things together. They're related. I'm geeking out about Fire Emblem continuing. I played more Fire Emblem in this last week than I've maybe played any game. I know. Just take it easy. I'm going to tie it into a shout out. Okay. All right.
Whatever.
Playing lots of Fire Emblem because I drove to Kelowna, which is like a 10-hour drive from here. Yeah. There and back. Put a whole bunch of time into it, and then I'm listening to the Nintendo Shack. And my God. If you guys are enjoying a little bit of Fire Emblem these days, you got to check out the Nintendo Shack because they are all up in Fire Emblem, if you know what I'm saying. They might be like walking on the line of spoilers. They haven't spoiled anything yet. But, oof, man, Donnie and Carol, they love them some Fire Emblem, and I'm loving hearing them about it, man. It's good stuff.
And it's slow for me out the gates.
It's okay.
But no. But I mean, like, compared to other Fire Emblem games, I'm used to being like into a lot of battles right now.
That's okay. This is Persona. This is like
it's very much like Persona.
I remember when I played Persona 4 and I'm just like, so is there a game here? Like, I don't understand what's happening. I'm just like walking through dialogue stuff here.
I don't know, man.
It's good stuff. Who's your waifu going to be?
I have no idea yet because I can't get that.
You got to get around talking to them, man.
I have.
I have no idea. I think Dorothea.
Or that one professor, the female professor.
Oh, that's too easy.
I know, but she's kind of.
Can we talk about romancing the kids though, Bobby? Is that a thing?
Is it weird? That's
I feel a little weird about it. I feel like everybody's just like breeze past this thing. Where, like the romance options are your students. So like, how old are they?
Yeah, I know. It's.
But mine's Mercedes. So let's be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't actually. Sheldon Benedict gave a shout out to Mercedes, but I was looking at Jace Plays Games, actually Baccaridge, twitch.tv/Baccaridge, and he was saying that nobody's after Mercedes. Everybody's after Petra.
Well, it's not as easy as Camilla. Like
I know. Oof. She's your sister, dude.
Dude, they kept her far away from this game, which is a shame. She should be back. The Sid of Final Fantasy.
She should have her own like series. Like they'll just do they'll continue with all these Fire Emblem games, but
they should just bring her back in every single
like
game.
Sid,
like Sid, but it's Camilla just shows up randomly.
She's just like operating a shop of goodies or whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
She sells the long swords.
Just
gives them away. Where's my amiibo? Where's my
this is what happens when we start recording early in the morning.
It's on, man. It's on, baby.
We're too tired to do this quick.
It's on, baby. Let's go.
Another shout out. I want to thank the Atui community.
Oh.
So on Friday, I did a tweet, and I was just like, "Hey guys, we're going into the weekend. what's game plans for the weekend? Who's playing what? What's going on? Some guy come in and just started tearing us apart and really just shredding into us. And man, the community lit this dude up.
Oh, wow.
Like literally went at him as bad as he was coming at us. And because it was funny because Jules had texted me and was like, what's your feeling? What do we do?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I really don't like blocking people. This isn't something I want to do. I don't want to get into this. He goes, I like the fact that the Atui account has never blocked anybody. He's like, but this guy's really pushing the edge. And as we're talking, it's like, whoosh. Like, here comes.
That was almost a Jewel sound.
It was, right? But here comes all these different people just attacking.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say attacking, but just basically telling them, like, dude, get lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you talking about here? Just back off.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you guys for that. That really means the world to me.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
I'm just gonna say something really quickly. Shout out to Reggie. I can't wait for you to run for president, my friend.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Laying out some facts. It's been it's really been a tricky week with all of this stuff.
Could you imagine if he ran for president of the United States?
You gotta wonder like what the video game
vote for him in a
community.
minute.
I know, but you gotta wonder just like because video games are big. Are they big enough to overturn like the outcome of an election? That would be kind of crazy. But he's throwing out some facts here.
Oh, dude, he's throwing out crazy facts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
This is a unifying moment for gamers on the left and on the right.
I agree.
Don't get rid of our games, man.
Well, it's not even getting. You know what? We're gonna dip into this a little bit because so people came at me this week like saying like you need to be, bring up political stuff from time.
Oh
to time.
yeah, no, nope.
And I'm not.
I know. I saw the tweet of like if you're a streamer and you're not bringing up politics, then you need to get educated or get out, or basically what they're saying.
So, but my thing with
disagree.
this is, I don't put blame on the games. I don't put blame on the game even on the politicians. I don't put blame. They're just uneducated, so they need to figure out what they're talking about here. But I put blame on the parents wholeheartedly. There's no reason that a young kid should be playing Call of Duty, should be playing Grand Theft Auto, and I'm not saying that is what makes kids go do these things, but I feel like it kind of desensitizes a little bit to violence. But I'm not even saying that like that's the reason. But I feel like in this conversation, the reason why this is being brought up is because parents aren't being educated upon, hey man, there's a rating on your games. It's no different than an R-rated movie. Would you let your kid go watch an R-rated movie? Would you let your kid listen to a music, or an album that's explicit lyrics and all that stuff? Like, you need to put things into context of what you can do, what you can't do.
All I'm saying, Bobby, is I wasn't allowed to see Terminator 2 and listen to Tupac until I was of age, and I turned out all right.
Yeah. But my thing is I remember
I'm just kidding.
My dad used to go to video stores every Friday night, pick up a movie. And my dad would be, me and my brother would be like,
he'd go into like the saloon doors in the back, the special, it smells nice back there section.
Stop. So, but he would literally we'd go home at night and he would watch the movie Friday night. Me and my brother couldn't watch it.
Oh, yeah.
And then Saturday morning we would wake up and he would tell us before he went to work, he'd be like, you could watch it. You got to wait for me to come home. And if it was wait for me to come home, it meant there was probably a sex scene in it or something like that he would like pause the movie. All right, guys, leave the room. Me and my brother go into the other room, into our bedrooms. He'd fast forward through and then call us back out, and then we would continue watching. And it was just like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be involved in what your kids are doing. And that might not be that in this day and age, it might be an unpopular opinion, but all right,
little boy, go play Fire Emblem Fates Birthright. Go check out Camilla. All right, just go do that. Don't play any of these violent video games.
Yeah,
Bobby, Todd Oxford's losing his mind right now.
I don't care about that.
I'm losing my mind over here.
Care less. Stop.
We actually have we have 3 solid topics for the patrons. We have 2 solid topics for the freeloaders, as Colin Moriarty calls them.
What are you talking about?
We have 3 topics. We have great topics today. We've got should I give a little preview? Today on If We're at Nintendo, we're going to relaunch Switch Online. Todd Oxford wants to know which character we're going to give the next push out of Smash, like a Fire Emblem character. And then if you're a Patreon supporter, we're going to do a bonus topic for you. We're going to talk a little bit about Street Pass, thanks to Brendan Myers. Bobby's learning about this right now as well. That's why he's kind of rambling
I didn't know about
on.
The character when I asked you earlier. Like,
I sent you a picture of all the topics. We're ready to go, man. Let's do this.
I don't have them. Okay,
all right. Anyway. Do you want to take a quick pause? We can. No. Okay, I didn't think so.
I'll do the two that I know, and you can do the Todd Oxford one because I don't know that one. Whatever.
All right, man. Let's do this.
Okay. Let's go. So if we ran Nintendo,
all right.
How would we relaunch Nintendo Switch Online?
Yeah, it's a bloody mess, man. Throw it out.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And I feel like it needs to get a reboot of sorts. Man, it's so convoluted. It's not even funny. I feel like the value dollar-wise is okay. After a year of paying into this, well, I paid in advance, but a year of paying into it, it's like, okay, originally, I don't want to say I was being an apologist, but probably I was to some degree. I felt like, hey, for me, just being able to play online, being able to get the cloud saves, being able to get these free Nintendo games per se, I'm okay with this. But a year later, and we're still getting NES games. We're down to 2 NES games and some SP games. They're not very good games that we're getting at this point. I feel like there's better games in the chamber still that they're not even releasing. I also feel that it's just they dropped the ball big time on this. The cloud saving, you can only cloud save certain games. It's not every game.
It felt like a test. This entire time, it feels like they haven't really fully committed to it. They weren't really sure what to do. And so I remember a lot of people talking about it felt like a beta test, and we're all paying for it, essentially.
Yeah.
So
but not only that, you had a whole year and a half,
before
2 years.
That's right.
Before you launched this thing.
That's right.
So in that time, what the hell were you doing?
And that was really the beta test because it was free. Everybody got it for free until they were going to start the paying period, and which they did. So now we're coming up on a year. We're in the middle of August, if you can believe it. And
next month
is the 1 year anniversary. So we just thought, why don't we just throw everything out and start it all over again? Game Pass Ultimate is a new thing that's happened since then. So Xbox is changing it a little bit. Stadia is a new thing that since they launched. So the landscape of video games has changed a little bit, Bobby. So I was thinking about, you brought up cloud saves, and I can't remember, you were doing a Nintendo talk with somebody and talking, I think, a little bit about the cheating that can happen with if you
Animal Crossing.
It was Animal Crossing. If you hit the Wi-Fi off at a certain time or whatever, you can cheat or whatever. It's like, I can't stand it when rules, regulations, and standards are set based on exceptions, based on the cheaters. I can't stand it because I'll tell you something. The way that you were describing how that cheat works, I would never do it. I would never even try for it.
I never did it. Yeah, I never did it.
There are loopholes in every single game, no matter what. And to base or to put an excuse around no cloud saves for certain games around a cheat is nonsense to me. It's got to be, especially with the Switch Lite coming up, that cloud save has to be seamless. And not even Sony does it seamlessly. It's not even close. You still have to go in and have a little bit of manual touching, Bobby.
Yeah.
It's got to be, last time I played it, whatever that is, that's my current state, and it's instantly saved with the cloud, and that's the first thing that it's got to be.
Let me explain to you what I want here, Sean.
Okay.
Because I do this all the time. So I'll come home from work, and I will sit in the living room eating dinner, and I'll watch an episode of Catfish, right, on Hulu, on my TV. And I get about halfway through, and then I'm done eating, and I'm like, I don't feel like sitting here. I'm going to come back here and play some games.
Right.
So I turn it on, but I put Hulu on back here.
Guess what?
It picks up immediately. I don't have to do anything.
That's right.
I just log into my account. It's there, right? So then I watch about 15, 20 minutes, and I get wrapped into the game. I'm like, you know what? I need to stop this. So I stop it because it's getting interesting. And then when I go to bed at night, I go to a totally different TV, turn it on, and it fires right back up where I left it off.
Right.
I don't have to do anything special. It's like, here's 3 different pieces of equipment like tech, and I'm able to just bounce from place to place to place, and it goes. That's what I want with my Nintendo Switch. I want to know that if I'm logged in on my Nintendo Switch Lite, or if I'm logged in on my Nintendo Switch, my original one, that no matter where I log in, that I'm playing the game exactly where I left it off.
Yep.
And there's no reason why it shouldn't. If it's happening with other devices, there's no reason why it shouldn't be happening here. Makes no sense whatsoever. We are so far along that it should just work.
It actually fits into the name really nicely as well. Like, you should be able to switch from one console to the next. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's going from the TV. It's very literal going from the TV to handheld mode. But like, why wouldn't you be able to just like snap your finger and then you're onto your next device?
Yeah. Like, I look at Apple. People are like, why do you like Apple so much? And I like Apple because it just works.
My God, they figured that out over a decade ago.
Yeah.
Going from one to the next to the next.
Yeah, I could pick up my iPhone and I could type in my notepad, right? So I have a notepad on my iPhone that literally I type show notes during the week on it. And then when I go to record, I pop the show notes up there right now. It's all the stuff I've typed over a week, except for Todd Oxer's topic. But other than that, everything else is there, you know?
It's like it's his fault.
So everything's there. You know, it just works seamlessly. And I love that. You know what I mean? I love the fact that, like, I could just bounce from place to place. So that is number one.
Yeah, cloud
saves need to work like that. If they don't, go away, stop charging, fix it, then bring it back. That's my feeling. Like, this is something that the $20 a month, that's what I should be paying for. That's it.
Yeah.
And I have no problem paying $20 a month for that feature only, and everything else I would view everything else as gravy. The fact of playing online, I will say, it feels the online is better in terms of, like, I don't get disconnected. I don't have any issues with that. Now, that might just be my internet. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not hardwired to my Switch, but I don't get disconnected when I played in Splatfest this last time. When I play in normal matches, on only time I get disconnected is like when you're on that cusp of, is the new map starting? Is it not starting? And they've loaded a bunch of people into the new map, and you're still on the old map waiting for the match to start. That might be a time, and that's just timing and whatever it is. But that's not because the internet service is bad. That's just whatever. Smash, still a train wreck, but that's because they're using a different thing. They're going peer to peer rather than server to server.
Are they really?
Yeah, that's the way they do. That's the way all fighting games do it.
Oh, really?
All fighting games go person
just
to
a
person.
Direct connection.
So if you're closer, it's going to be a seamless thing.
Yeah,
but if you're distance, it's a mess. That's the way all fighting games are. It's the way it's been for years. It's garbage. They need to fix that too, but that's not the service on its own. The Nintendo games. Bye. Like, stop.
The NES games?
The NES games. I would say this. If we ran Nintendo, I would charge $40 to $50 a month. I mean, not a month. A year. 40 to 50 a year. And then I would turn it into a retro Game Pass, where you're basically going. They've coined it. The Nintendo dads coined it the Netflix, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. But essentially, here's 100 games that are retro games that are free. We're going to push some in. We're going to pull some out. Every month it'll be different, just like Netflix. Here's your core. And then, by the way, if you like it and it's going away and you want to buy it and own it, you could buy it for a fee. You know, like,
it's Game Pass.
Like, that's the way it should be. There's none of this nonsense of, like, we're going to give you two. Like, that is so inundated and so out of touch with what we're at this point.
Well, it's interesting too, because like I look at, and I'm hesitating from basically suggesting a full copycat of Game Pass or Game Pass Ultimate, because obviously it's a gamer centric thing, but at the same time, you have to wonder is it damaging? And this may be a question for you. Like, is it damaging the industry? Is it devaluing games to a point where, like, we don't even want to pay for them anymore? Is that a result of mobile gaming's impact on us, where we just need like more free to play, and every version around free to play that it maybe isn't quite free to play, but something like it. Like, do we value games in the same way that we used to? And is Nintendo fighting that fight maybe a little bit in they already do in their pricing structure with their first party games. They don't discount games. So maybe that there's a reason to that. And maybe through this, if we're at Nintendo, we got to find something that works with that fighting the devaluing games fight.
It's simple. I'm not asking for new games. You don't put new games in this
That's fair
thing. You just do retro games. Anything that is not a Switch game is open. If you want to put a Wii game in there, a Wii U game in there, whatever you want to do. Maybe Wii U might be too much because they could probably do a remaster or whatever, but that's irrelevant. I would just turn around and go like, listen, any game that's retro in theory is going to be free, and it will be in this thing. And you basically could just call it like, again, Virtual Console or whatever it might be, but you just have it where those are the games. You don't give away Animal Crossing. You don't do none of that. I feel like that's where Microsoft is totally dropping the ball. Now,
with their first party stuff?
Yes.
Giving it, like, including it
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, that's silly.
That's pretty interesting.
You could get $60 a clip. Now, maybe after it's been out for 6 months, 9 months, then throw it in the chamber. But like right out the gate, day one, I know that you guys in Xbox land, you love that. But me sitting on the outside looking at it, I go, that's bad for gaming.
Yeah.
I feel like it's bad for gaming. It's great for the gamer, but I feel like it's you got to ultimately it's bad for the gamer, because if it hurts the company, puts the company out of business because they're not making money off of it, then what happens? And I feel like it's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I just feel like new games should just buy them.
Yeah. That's very fitting. Like, and we could get into a 3-hour conversation about whether or not it's damaging the industry. But I just wanted to bring it up mainly because it has to fit in with Nintendo's kind of momentum, like, and the identity. And I think that's a really nice balance. And I was thinking about, like, maybe there's a tiered system. Again, I'll always have to call out all the different companies and what they're all doing, and trying to balance creating the right product for the right customer, whoever's willing to pay for it gets the things that are extra along with it, but also balancing, like, it can get very confusing. Like, this membership gets you this, and then this plus membership gets you something a little bit more. Can be confusing, but I do feel like there are very different segments within the Nintendo fan base of, like, there are kids who just want to play online, and then there's people like us who want to get, like, give us all of the things. So what is essentially like the Game Pass Ultimate or the Switch Online Ultimate version of that? And maybe that extra piece is like a Virtual Console type of thing that you can start to go back. Like, it's like a Switch to NES and Switch to Super Nintendo, a SNES, if you will. I think that's something that people want for sure. Or even access to buy it. Like, I don't even know if I want it for free, to be honest with you.
That's why I say I think that you put it out. You know what I mean? Like, this gives you the ability to emulate them, get them over to the Switch, right? Then you give it away for free. And then when you pull it away, you say, hey, man, you have 2 weeks.
Well, one part of the promise with NES,
you can buy it anytime.
Part of that promise with the NES Online was that you and I could play, like, Dr. Mario together. Like, that some of these non-online games could now magically be, like, that's really the thing that is underexplored, in my opinion. Like, how do we get into, like, Star Fox 64 playing multiplayer online? That's kind of what I want.
I get that.
I know how much you like Star Fox, Bobby.
But the fact of the matter is, Sean, is I think I played, for me, and I'm sure there's people are going to scream like, well, I do it all the time. And I'm sure you do it all the time. But I bet you the majority of the people don't even use that feature.
Yeah,
don't even
for sure.
mess with it. I think it was a novelty that's worn off, and I don't think people really care if they can play with their friends online or any of that stuff. It was
That's
great.
A good point.
I think it was a great thing.
It's just a differentiator.
Cool. It's cool to be able to play online with some of those games. Don't get me wrong. I'm not stupid to that, you know. But I think the fact of the matter is it's not good for business. Like, if that's something you add over time, fine. But at the end of the day, get your damn library online. Let people either buy them or get them for free or whatever you're going to do with it. But this nonsense of slow drip, 2 games a month, all this nonsense, man, it's 2 years later you started charging. Get your heads out of your asses and get it done.
Well, my biggest
You
thing
had
is
2 years to build this library and get it to go.
I agree. Yeah, it seems like they're making it up as they go along here. And the biggest thing is that it gives us it gives us so we can talk about how maybe we seem a little entitled, like give us something that we care about. But the thing is that in lieu of them telling us what to think about or what to get excited about, we basically just start to complain like this all year long. So how do you spread a narrative across a year or across many years that this is a service that is worth getting excited about? And when like every single month, somebody basically starting in September, every single month, somebody's time is up. Somebody has that decision to make whether they're going to renew or not. And you have to be top of mind all the time that this is a service worthwhile. And that's what the other guys are doing really, really well. And maybe actually, I think even PlayStation is finding they're not doing a great job of it. You have to have a reminder every single month that this is a thing that you want to have. Because at any month, you're going to have thousands, if not millions of people come up on their time that's like, it's time to quit it. Yeah. And people will make that choice. So how do you kind of keep them involved?
I think the other thing that needs to happen is, again, I really feel like Nintendo didn't price this right. At $20. And that's the one thing I want to say, that if I'm relaunching, I am raising the price.
Oh, so same here. Totally.
Because there's things I want to do that you have to have a price increase. Discounts.
Discounts for sure.
Like
just across the board.
Every single game that I buy, being a member, I should get like a small, I don't care if it's 2%, 5%, whatever it might be. But every game should be discounted.
It's your Costco membership.
Why? Well, the thing of it is why? It gives people an incentive to buy. You know what I mean? Like they go, oh, there's value here. For $20, yes, it's low, but there's no value in what I'm getting.
Right.
At the end of the day. Like there's no reason, like you gave us online for free for 2 years. Now you're charging me for it. There was a little bit of a bump in quality, but not much of a bump that you see a huge difference. But at the end of the day, you look at it and you go like, okay, what else is there?
Yeah.
What other value is there? So I feel like if you offer discounts, it just, and even when a game goes on sale, you still offer that discount above and beyond. It's something that people will go like, hey man, I could earn back my value.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It ends up paying for itself.
Yes.
After a couple, and it encourages you to do that. It's like the more you spend, the more you save, sort of. Like this is not genius marketing.
And by the way, it encourages you to buy digitally over anything else.
Right.
Which the company makes more money off of.
Yeah.
They're charging the same price. There's times they're charging more money for a game digitally than they are to go to the store and buy it, because the stores will discount them. So at the end of the day, when you look at it, you go like, hey, man, here's a way for me to get people on board with what we're doing here. You give them this discount. It's not hurting us, because at the end of the day, you're charging $60 for Mario Maker 2 online, $60 for it in store, but you have to package it. You have to ship it. All that money it's costing you to do that, you could kick that little discount. If you kick $5 off online because you're an online member, and you're paying, it's a win.
Yeah.
You're saving how much? You can't tell me it costs you $5 to ship that game.
No, they're
I mean,
they love the move to well, and this is why we talk about it all the time, like trying to get that behavioral change in people. It's like, stop going to the store, buy your thing over here. It's so much easier. So like that's not a, like we know that because we've obviously made that transition, but there's a lot of people out there still going like, I got to go to Walmart to get my games, and they're not selling my violent games anymore. Buy them online, man.
Yes, they are. Stop it.
I know. That was I thank you for clarifying, because they did. That was the big story.
Thank you, IGN. For
I know, right? Yeah, that
missing another one.
No, they laid out their investigatory process, and it was actually like Walmart had a chance to clarify before. So, but I'm glad we talked about that. Okay. That was a quick political moment, Bobby.
But that's what I feel. I feel like there's a multitude of things they need to fix and change.
Oh, the other thing. So I don't know if like Nintendo is not necessarily about discounts though. Like that's the thing. I agree they should be doing this, but maybe the Nintendo way of doing it, because they're just weird, is you get those extra like Nintendo dollars or whatever they're called. Like maybe you just get bonus coins. Yeah, so you get.
Well, the thing of it is, and this is the thing, Sean. When you think about it, is they've been changing lately. Like you say that, but they show where they've been making changes.
Sure.
They've kind of been listening to the people
a little bit.
And I mean, look at Mario Maker. Mario Maker's a prime example. So before the game launched, the narrative was you can't play with friends. You can only play with randoms.
Mm-hmm.
They heard the outcry, and then they shifted and changed it.
Yeah, so that you'll eventually be able to play with friends after everybody's forgotten about the game.
Well, but the point is at least they're acknowledging and trying to make that change.
True.
So, and it's been on other games too. You know what I mean? Like they've heard the outcry of like we don't want our games edited and changed. Here's Sony changing the way they're putting games out, and Nintendo's like, no, we're going to keep doing it the way you want it. Like no big deal. So that's I feel like it takes them time, but they do listen at times.
Yeah.
So I feel like saying these things, like I don't see why they can't do it. Like obviously they have to convey it to Japan. But I think again the idea is like if you're not selling it physically, physical games cost the company money. Yeah. Digital games are just you're printing money. You made the game already. You're just sending it through your online service. You're not paying for the shelf space. You're not paying for the packaging, which there's not much packaging anymore anyway. But that plastic costs money. The cartridge costs money. All the chips in the cartridge cost money. All that stuff's eliminated. The margin of profit is so big digitally. Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Isn't it crazy? You got to think about like every little town across every little city, every state across the entire planet. You're gonna ship cartridges out to those places. Like I don't ever like I was just kind of did a cross country kind of drive, 10-hour drive, not cross country. And I'm just looking at all these towns and I'm like, who's ever heard of these places? And I think about they got to ship them produce and all these different things. Like the logistics around the world is just insane. And then thinking about like video games and stuff, like of course that's why people have been working towards getting digital this entire time. But Bobby, I feel like this is something that is an understated value in every single online, like PlayStation Plus and live Xbox Live. This is something that people just like they take for granted almost. But I guarantee you, if you stopped your subscription to those things and then go back and go like, ooh, I was used to getting 10% off here, or I was used to getting these flash sales that were specifically for me, like that's something that is a way bigger pull to get you back on than even the 2 free games a month or whatever it is. It's like you hit the person in the wallet and out they'll come screaming back immediately because it's not insignificant for sure. Friends lists suck, Bobby. Yeah, the friends lists have to do that. Would be what a great time.
They're not great, but they're okay.
They don't do anything. I can see you're online. That's it. Yeah. I can't jump into a chat with you. I can't send you a message. I can't jump into your game with you. I can't follow your Mario levels. Like, this is a whole other, like, the friends list on its own is a whole other show. Yeah. But that would be something that it's so integral to the online experience, which is why it kind of falls into this category. Yeah. And I'm not even sure that it would be specific to paying members. Like, it would just be when you relaunch Switch Online, you fix the friends list, essentially. Yeah. It's got to be able to do stuff for people who aren't paying for that as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's where I'm at, though. These are the things I feel like need to get fixed. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you do an achievement system based upon being, like, do you lock that behind a paywall? I don't think that's a wise thing to do. No. But I think that... because I'm curious, I'm going to lean on you a little bit. Does Xbox offer discounts based upon achievement points?
No, okay, I feel like that was a thing for a while. People were looking at maybe it was going to be I don't know. I think it was like rumored to be happening for a bit, but like games are just so easy to game them. Cheat. Like exactly. You see, but I mean, you got to wonder if that's a whole other conversation. Would that be the worst thing in the world that you got people getting discounts from playing games like crazy? So they got to buy the games to get those achievements. So maybe it's not as bad as it might seem on the surface. I'm not sure.
Pretty much. Now that's pretty much what we have. The 2 topics, are they Patreon topics or one?
No, one. So let's talk about this first before we jump into the Patreon section. So you and I, we launched Patreon, you, me, Capri, a couple months ago. And the way that things work on this show was on whatever it is, Monday or Tuesday, we asked people to submit their topics, and then throughout the week, people would vote on them by liking them. And then the one with the most likes would be the Patreon exclusive topic that we have after the show. And people have been really enjoying that bonus topic. But the process, I think, is a little convoluted. It's a lot to ask people to jump back into the article at the end of the week and then make sure that they vote. And so a couple of people, very dedicated people did that. And then as the weeks have gone on, I think the voting has sort of fainted.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's less now, Bobby.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking, and what we sort of had communicated in the Discord at least, was we're still going to be asking for patrons to submit topics, and one of those topics we're just going to choose as being the bonus one, and then if we have other topics still there, so we're not asking people to vote anymore, I guess is what we're saying. You can still like them if you like, but it's not going to have a dedicated outcome. But in this case, we had 2 topics come in on the Patreon, one from Brandon Myers and one from Todd Oxtra. And I think what we're going to do in this case is maybe an example of what we can look forward to in the future is we're just going to pick one for the Patreon topic. And if we have time in the regular show, then we'll just use a Patreon topic. So I believe, was it Tim Alf who was who touched base with us a little while ago, and he had some feedback as well. And a lot of people had some feedback, very positive, of just how we can continue to make it better.
Yeah.
And what I think the positive thing here is that more people will hear your Patreon suggestions. More people will, if you're submitting a topic in there because you're a patron supporter, then more people will hear it because it becomes part of the main show instead of always locked behind that paywall. If that makes sense.
I have some ideas we'll discuss off the air.
Okay.
But I think I have something I want to do that might make it better.
Make it better.
Yeah.
It's always going to be that subtext, Bobby.
I know. So are we going with Todd, I guess?
Let's do Todd for the regular show, and then we'll get into Brendan Meyer's topic for the exclusive topic for sure.
Okay, so go ahead. What's the topic?
All right. Oh, I wasn't prepared to read it. Right
Well, you should have been prepared.
Okay, here it is.
Talked about
Todd
it
Oxford. All right, take it easy. If we ran Nintendo, what franchise or character should get the next push into the spotlight due to their presence in Smash? We've seen it work with Fire Emblem and Xenoblade. So essentially taking a character that is appearing in Smash that maybe is not getting a whole lot of love in the terms of getting a game or a series. Maybe they're in a dead series. So who's the next character to get a push? There's a couple in here, Bobby.
There's a bunch in there. And I mean, are we keeping it limited to Nintendo? We're just keeping it limited to Nintendo.
Sure.
I think that'll help one. I feel like there's 2 for me personally.
I know which one you're picking.
I feel like, there's 2.
Yeah.
Punch Out.
Yeah.
Little
Mac, of course.
And then Kid Icarus. Pit.
Pit and Palutena.
And I feel like with for me, I feel like Pit makes sense. Kid Icarus makes sense. I don't see why they don't push this franchise further, harder than they have. We did get a game on the 3DS. I'll argue to say that it wasn't a true Kid Icarus game in terms of like what the originals were. Also, it came with a weird kickstand, and the way you played, it just felt to me very convoluted and very like it cramped your hand up and all that stuff. And that's not how I want to play a Kid Icarus game. I want it to be. It was one of those things where they Nintendo'd the game, where they forced you to play a certain way. And if you liked it, you liked it. If you didn't, you didn't, and it didn't matter. They were just going to do what they wanted to do, and that was it. So, I know a lot of people did like the game. I think a lot of people loved the game. Just wasn't a fan for me personally. It fell a little short for me. So, I would personally love to see them do something with Kid Icarus. That would be my number one move, ultimately. As much as I love Punch Out, I also recognize that Punch Out is not boxing is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
So that might fall a little short, but I feel like a game like Kid Icarus, you could do so much with.
What if Little Mac became a MMA fighter? Like, what if he wasn't just a stand-up striker?
I thought about that, but it's like, ooh, what do you do?
I know. MMA games are weird anyways.
Isn't he technically, isn't he technically like with Smash turning into like an MMA fighter?
Good call, man.
You know what I mean? So that's, to me, that's, I think that would be the one game that I definitely would look at, Yeah,
there's no surprise there. I actually am surprised that Lucas hasn't come up. I mean, there's a huge fan base for Mother already, but also a lot of people have discovered Lucas through Smash.
I feel like that's a game that I don't know why Mother 3 they give you nonsensical stuff of why it's not there, but for me it's like Mother 3 should be on something, no doubt about it. Absolutely should be there. I don't know why it's not. So I don't know. It's weird to me.
Are there other I haven't played a Bayonetta game, but are there other characters in the Bayonetta world that could maybe be brought in? Like, this is sort of maybe a two-way type of topic where you highlight a character, but then like the thing with Fire Emblem that's happened is there's been so many characters added to it. Like it's Fire Emblem kind of got kickstarted by the success of Smash, and then that launches new Fire Emblem games, but then the characters kind of come back and forth. Like they really dominate the roster. So I guess that's the other, if I could add on to the topic a little bit, is like one of these characters kind of kickstarts a new series, but then you're going to feed some of the characters back into it. I don't know if Bayonetta is that series though.
I mean, Bayonetta has some additional characters, but I don't know that there's anybody that I would bring into Smash. Anybody that would actually work well to be brought into Smash.
But imagine Little Mac though. Like that's the character that just lines up with that perfectly. Where you have all the other fighters. Like imagine fighting as Mike Tyson. You bring Mike Tyson, Mr. Dream into it. You know what I mean? Like some of the bosses into it. That would be really interesting.
I mean, ultimately, that to me is a way to throw some stuff in there. I'll go, to take off what you're saying. I feel like a game that definitely needs representation in the proper form, meaning you get characters which would help build that game, is ARMS.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why, Ribbon Girl or Springman aren't in this game. They should. I mean, I know they're trophies, I think, as well. But no, man, you need proper characters in this because I feel like that would have helped push that game because people would have fell in love with those characters and been like, oh, man, I got to go check this out. Like, I got to give this another shot. I think they dropped the ball on that one.
And I'm scrolling through the list, but I feel like the only like natively fighting game characters are the Street Fighter characters with Ryu and Ken. And like, so I start to think like maybe they don't want fighting character or fighting game characters in there, but like Ryu and Ken feel so awesome in this game, and like that would be such a natural fit for ARMS. You're totally right, man. Maybe ARMS 2. Maybe that's the time where that possibly could happen.
Possibly. I mean, I've often wondered like, does Mortal Kombat characters ever show up? You know what I mean? Like it would make sense. I mean, obviously the fatalities might be a little. They could figure something out.
I wonder how deeply rooted that is. Like the Sega version was always better. There was a different relationship there, so they went with Street Fighter. We always played Street Fighter on the Super Nintendo.
I did. Yeah, I did. A
little bit of Mortal Kombat for sure.
I mean, I'm looking at the list, and there's so many Pokemon characters, but we know that Pokemon gets a whole bunch of stuff as it is.
You mentioned Nintendo. I was thinking Sam and Belmont, which is obviously Konami, but like, you'd love to see that kind of come back, but they've got no. But man, imagine if they just bought the property from them.
Well,
imagine if Nintendo took that over.
So that conversation came up a lot when Mega Man showed up.
Oh yeah,
and Capcom actually did stuff and turned it around and did some different stuff. I don't see why Konami can't. Konami actually put out the Castlevania collection right after Smash, so I can see if those sales did well. I think this is all a test for Konami to go like, hey man, do we give this another shot?
Yeah,
do we give it a go? But I'm looking at the roster, and there's a character that's on here, and I don't know how. I know you're going to come up with some stupid idea of a game, but the idea I'm thinking, I'm looking, and I don't have an idea for it, but the character that doesn't have anything, obviously, is Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah.
I mean, could you do something with her? But I don't know what you do.
I think it might even tie into Brendan Meyer's topic for the Patreon. Like, what are we going to do with Street Pass? Yeah. Like maybe there's something to be done with the Wii Fit Trainer over in Street Pass land.
Possibly.
I'm not sure.
So, but I think that's pretty much what I have, and that's where we're at. So, I think that's it, Sean.
I think that is that it.
That is
Kirby
all.
Gets enough. Kirby. Is that it? Is that what you say at the end of these shows?
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of If We Ran Nintendo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like it wherever you can like it, over on Apple, iTunes, Google Play, wherever you listen to your podcast. Please give us that 5-star rating and push us a little bit. You can follow Sean Capri over on the Twitters at Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. Check him out over on twitch.com switch.tv/Sean Capri. You can follow me, Instagram, Twitter, at Nintendo Gurus. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Patreon.com/Yumi Capri, because we're going to do a topic from Brendan Myers called...
How would you implement Street Pass into Switch? What would you do to get people to turn it on?
Yeah, baby.
We'll see.